You know, we come and we go into Prabhupada's room, we see his bed, it's beautiful, it smells lovely. We have a very quiet kirtan, it's quite moving. But those of us that were there in Vrindavan all those years ago, and our guru, our life and soul, our father, our well-wisher, our teacher, our friend, our chastiser, our everything, left us. So we were just absolutely shocked, like a deer in the headlight of a car. We were up all night in Vrindavan, doing bhajan and kirtan in the temple room, and just our world had come to an end. So when I come and I walk into that room, it's beautiful, it's so many things, but also my mind goes back to that time, to those days, to that experience. There's no way to explain it or describe it, really. I was the original head pujari in Vrindavan when the temple opened. I had been pujari in Paris. I had come for the festival like any Western devotee coming to India for pilgrimage. I was going to stay a month or a few weeks and then go back to France. In the end, I ended up becoming head pujari of Vrindavan, which in many ways was kind of like being sacrificed to the lions. But that's a whole other story. So I spent a lot of time in Vrindavan, and Prabhupada would come for visits. See, one thing that was, I don't know how you describe the difference between India and serving in India and serving in the West. I was a pujari. So in the West, pujaris are people that can't go out and collect money. And then you stay in the temple and you do all the little temple things. And, the real devotees go out and collect money or preach or sell books or whatever it is. One thing that struck me when I ended up staying in Vrindavan was Didi worship is Sankirtan. Because when you do Artik in Vrindavan or Bombay, you see how many people are standing there. It is like the temple room is full. Of course, when this temple opened, when Vrindavan temple opened, it wasn't that busy. It was, of course, handful of people. But still, in America, generally in the afternoon, if you're doing Artik, you're putting on a tape of Srila Prabhupada, and you're one person in the temple room, and you're doing Artik. In India, at 4 o'clock Artik, you're 4:15 Artik, lots of people. So here, this is part of the culture. People are aware what is seva, what is devotion, what is Artik, what is a temple. So the devotional arts, they're very practiced in India. And of course, the temple utilizes so many devotional arts. Today we have the witness of, flower decorations here, how they, by hand, they stitch the flowers together, the beautiful jasmine. So you walk into the room and it's just a lovely atmosphere and environment. So how to utilize all these little creative, artistic natures to raise the raise the consciousness, raise the awareness, to just be in a more devotional place. Temples are beautiful, temples are large, they make us feel little. We want to serve, we want to connect with the big, with the Supreme, Bhagavan. So it's all is a process. So I ended up staying in Vrindavan. As I was saying this morning, Prabhupada used to say in the West, when he was preaching, that, Westerners are very far from Krishna, but they're looking towards Krishna. But he said, but Indians are standing next to Krishna, but they're looking away from Krishna. And we can see that today in the modern India, where we have our shopping malls, and we're up to date, and we're high-tech, and we're all these things. People want success. People want financial capacity to be able to buy a beautiful house and provide for their family in opulence. Of course, Srila Prabhupada said even we can use the atom bomb for Krishna. So you can also use high-tech, you can use everything for Krishna. But the trick is to use it for Krishna, and not to say you're using it for Krishna, but actually you're using it for you. So by bringing Westerners back to India and using the example of the Westerners and their devotion in India was just like a genius. So Prabhupada built big temples, lots of service, and now we see, hardly you see a Westerner, you see only locals, which is fabulous, because this is India. In the early days, there were very few Indian devotees. When Srila Prabhupada left, I was the head pujari in Vrindavan, and then I had gone back to, let's see, I don't want to mix up my story. Ayojapati means what's his current name? Govindaswamy. Yeah, that's easy. Exactly. I always think of him as a Yojapati. He's my buddy. But, now he's a sannyasi. And so he was staying in Vrindavan, and he was a cook. So when Srila Prabhupada left, of course, we had to have a festival. Just like today, we're having a festival. This is a celebration, anniversary. But when Srila Prabhupada left, you have to create a festival, because it's, like I said this morning, it was a sad day. But it's also, you have to have a festival and celebrate such a glorious, glorious soul. So he approached me, he said, Nartam, you're a cook. Help me cook. I said, I don't want to cook. I said, I've always cooked. And cooks always miss everything, as the women know. You're in the kitchen. Prabhupada is coming for a visit. He's giving class. He's giving an initiation. You're in the kitchen. So I thought there will never be a repeat of this, that my guru has left and we're bereft. And I want to absorb it all. I want to inhale it. I want to see everything. I want to hear everything. I want to smell everything. I want to just be immersed in this. It will never happen again. So how can I go to the kitchen where I've always been in the kitchen? I've cooked for 1,000 people before in New Vrindavan. All devotees. Every meal's a feast. I didn't want to do that. I said no. But then I said, but I'm a devotee. It's Prabhupada's, this is for Prabhupada's glorification. I've been trained as a cook. How can I refuse? So it was a dilemma. A devotional dilemma. So what to do? So we discussed together, and we decided that we would all cook. It was he and myself and Riksharaj, and then we had assistants to help, but the three of us basically cooked the feast. And we said, we'll cook until everybody comes back from Parikram, because they took Srila Prabhupada to all the main temples of Vrindavan. So we were cooking, and then when Prabhupada came back, we stopped. Basically we were finished anyways, but we went to witness the pujas, and which is indescribable. And a devotee does not really want to remember his guru in that way. He wants to remember the guru as, young, enthusiastic, strong, like how the spirit of Prabhupada wanting to go to Govardhan and Radhakund and go on Parikram, even though he was basically laying practically incapacitated. And I was saying this morning also how Prabhupada he was 1,000 steps in front of anyone. So, see, one of the, incredible charms was, here he was basically lying on his deathbed, incapacitated, hardly capable of doing anything, but he was doing everything. He was translating, he was doing everything he always did, instructing others, translating his books, although he could hardly eat or drink. So he was teaching us. At every moment he's been teaching us. Don't think this will not happen to you. And we say, yeah. But when you're young, you'd think, this is not going to happen to me. That's for old people. Well, if you hang around long enough, you're one of those old people. So, Krishna's a trickster. Very interesting devotional journey. So, I had to surrender to it wasn't about me. It wasn't my choice. It was time for a feast to glorify my guru. That was my responsibility to accept that service. It wasn't about me saying, no, this won't happen again. I want to watch everything. No, that wasn't service. That was a kind of a devotional lust or something. Service means I'm trained as a cook. It's time for a feast. Cook the best feast you can cook. And it was glorious. So, everybody's an individual. Everybody is a different service. Like you have a tree, a big tree with so many leaves. Well, there's every leaf has got a different position. Some sun is coming there, some sun is coming there, different times of the day. It means here we are, all part of Hare Krishna land, Juhu. But each of us has got his own little reality, his own little world, his own little daily schedule, his service, what he does. We're all individuals. And trying to develop a relationship with our Guru and with Krishna and Radha, with all the devotional personalities that we read about in the literature, and how to open the door to make that our reality. Because Srila Prabhupada is not a name, he's not a picture, he's not a murti on the chair. He walked amongst us. So powerful, a simple, small, little Bengali gentleman in America has nothing to do with that culture. And how many Westerners just dived at his feet? We gave up our life. We did anything, whatever he said. Shave your head, do this, do that, serve, chant Hare Krishna. We were just purchased by his love for us, that we had no choice in the matter except to try to assist in some way. So this is true for anyone in your relationship with your guru. Like I said this morning, you guys are the future. When Srila Prabhupada was one man, an Indian man, seemingly Indian man from that culture, but of course he's absolutely transcendental spirit soul. We can't say enough. But from him, all of this has come. This amazing temple, and hundreds of these temples now practically in India. It's... But at the same time, I will say, it's not about the temple. It's not about the marble. It's not about the opulence. It's about the individual heart connecting with another individual heart. Because you can have big buildings like this and not make any devotee. But if you're personal and devotional and sensitive and thoughtful and connecting with people and care about them, you can make devotees. You could be living in a shack and connect with people in a sincere way, and you can make devotees. So temples are useful. There's festivals. People come. It's all opportunities to serve. But the real thing is it's not the stuff. Even Bhaktisiddhanta said, sell it all. Print books. So, the real secret is touching the soul of another, appreciating the presence of another, realizing he is part of Krishna, she is part of Krishna. There's no accidents. We're just floating in Maya, in the material world, generation after generation, life after life, birth after birth. looking for some kind of sense. And then we have the opportunity to come in touch with a pure devotee. Sometimes before I became a devotee, I would just sit and listen to Prabhupada sing. I would just listen to the sound with headphones on, which convinced me as much as anything. I'm following this man. Because it was just like nothing I ever experienced before. So, how to rise above the mundane, everyday hustle and bustle of the world and make some sense of what is really going on here. Because like a child or anyone is watching a movie and some part is happy, you're laughing, some part is sad and you're crying. But what is that movie? It's just a piece of film being projected on the wall. It's not reality. It's not real life. It represents something, but it's not real life. So we are searching for what is really truth in our life. What is lasting? What is that thing that, who am I? Am I a little kid? Am I a teenager? Am I an old man? Am I from America? I'm from India. I'm confused as to who I am because I'm a mixture of everything. But eternally who we are is the Atma within. And how to connect, how to have a lifestyle that allows you to be like a lotus flower, to be surrounded by the muck, but to be above the muck. And, so Srila Prabhupada, that's his gift. He gave us this. So we have to take the opportunity to, try to apply what we have learned. And so today is a day to glorify Srila Prabhupada. He's inspired so many. He took his 40 rupees to America and came back with unlimited amounts of, material wealth used for Krishna, but that is almost insignificant to compare to the hearts that he's offering to Krishna and for Krishna's service. It's just, incredible that he could accomplish so much in so short of time. So I would like to give opportunity to, all of you. So sitting here so attentively, to share some of your thoughts, because really it's not who you're initiated by, it's not, what your name is, it's like sincerity. I would always say sometimes the pot washer is the best devotee in the temple. It's not about who's GBC, XYZ. I mean, it's about being humble and being observant and being interested and applying and, it's so many things. It's not dependent on position and offices and big fancy anything. Whether you have a car, it's about what's going on in your heart, in your mind. And everybody has the same opportunity to offer this to Krishna. So, I spoke for more than 5 minutes. So what to do? You're in charge, I'm not in charge. I'm a guest.
No, you are the family member.
No, I'm a family member, that's true. So, I don't know if anybody would like to speak, who would like to share. There's older devotees here, there's younger devotees here, there's male, there's female. I'm happy to listen to anyone.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रस्थाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिति नामिने नामस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादि पश्चाच्चदेशतारिणे। Srila Prabhupada, by his exemplary devotional activities, is teaching how one should be engaged in Krishna consciousness under all kinds of circumstances without even worrying about the final destination. So this is very much in line with the Lord's teaching. To highlight this, I would like to mention a few things about Sri Ramanujacharya's pastimes. Sri Ramanujacharya, when he was studying under a Mayavadi, he was studying Sanskrit, but because he was Mayavadi, Yadav Prakash, he left his school. So he had no guru. This was in Kanchipuram, and in Kanchipuram Lord Varadaraj would converse with one of his devotee, Kanchipurna, every day. So Ramanuja went to him and asked him to find some answers to his doubts. He had some doubts. He wanted some answers. He said, "Can you please find out from the Lord?" Varadaraj. He said, "Okay." But the Lord himself gave the answer that day night. Every day evening when the devotee would go to put him to rest, put the Lord to rest, he would discuss with him. So that day he said, "I have some answers for Ramanuja. Just go and give him." So he had 6 questions. We will not go into the details of them. The 2 important things, doubts, is that what happens to a person who is going to die if he does not remember Krishna? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajati anta kalevaram tam tam eva iti kaunteya sada tadbhava bhavita. Krishna says, whatever you remember at the state of, whatever is the state of consciousness at the time of your death, that is what you are going to be. Rule, general rule, fixed, Krishna has said already. But if suppose you don't remember Krishna, what will happen? That was the question of Ramanujacharya. So, Ramanuja was given the answer by Lord himself, Varadaraj. Mad bhaktanam jananam cha nanti asmritir ishyate. Bhaktanam, deha vasane bhaktanam dadami ta paramam padam. 2 answers was given by Lord Varadaraj. He says that for my devotee, remembering me at the time of death is not a necessary condition. Still he is liberated. And when he leaves the body, Dehavasane, Bhaktanam, Dadami Paramam Padam, I give them the supreme shelter in the spiritual world. So this is a devotee working for Krishna all the time, and Krishna says, you don't worry anything. So for this sloka of Varadaraja, the Sri Vaishnavas have given the commentary that a devotee actually doesn't even have to worry about what is his final destination. He just is working for Krishna. Because if he is thinking all the time, whether I will remember Krishna or not, how am I going to remember, I make some arrangement for remembering Krishna, your effort will be going in that than serving Krishna actually. So Krishna said, don't worry about that. That is my worry actually. I have to worry about how to take you back home. You surrender and you do all the services, and then Krishna makes such a wonderful arrangement that one actually gloriously reaches his destination. So, Srila Prabhupada perfectly fits the instruction of Lord Varadaraj. At the age of 69, when everybody tries to settle in Vrindavan, he was ready to go to West. Because his Guru Maharaj told him, you go and preach the message of Krishna consciousness in the West. So much difficulty. It's not that he got 10 assistants, lot of money, and we all know the history. And on the way, he gets to a heart attack in the sea. Anybody else would have thought that as soon as he reaches, come back to Vrindavan, Arey Baba, kidhar ja raha hu? Not worried. He just went on preaching. And how much difficulty he has to undergo with single-handedly, even if he tells somebody to go single-handedly to go and do some choice preaching, the fellow will say that, hey, wait a minute, where is my vehicle, where is my this, where is my that? Single-handedly, Prabhupada was doing everything simply to please his Guru Maharaj, simply to serve Lord Krishna. So much so that he took all the trouble. But then you can see that Krishna made all the arrangement to bring him back to Vrindavan again and gloriously take him back home, back to Godhead. So this is how it is actually the life of Srila Prabhupada is to teach us how to live in Krishna consciousness and how to live also. If we live properly, living is not to be worried about. That is actually Krishna is going to take care. Like for example, Srila Prabhupada said to Mr. P.L. Shetiji, you build a house for my devotees, I will build a house for you in Goloka Vrindavan. Just building a house for this. So Prabhupada so confidently say that no, you do this, you will go back to Godhead. So in the same way, if one actually engages in Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada is teaching us by his exemplary activity, we may try, we can aspire to follow the footsteps on this auspicious day. We can pray to Srila Prabhupada to fully follow his footsteps, his exemplary devotional service, not to worrying about the result, being engaged in Krishna consciousness. How much I can fully be engaged in Krishna consciousness. If that is what is our consciousness is, then Prabhupada is already teaching that the goal of going back home, back to Godhead is just going to happen naturally, and Krishna will actually make arrangement for that. We don't even have to plan for that. It will naturally happen. So in this auspicious day, we recollect how Srila Prabhupada has dedicated everything for the pleasure of his Guru and Parampara and Lord Krishna, and Krishna rewarded him by gloriously taking him back home, back to Godhead. So on this auspicious day, we also pray at his lotus feet to also give us intelligence to always be engaged in Krishna consciousness, following in his footsteps. He has already taught what we have to do. Following in his footsteps, we can be engaged also, then the result is natural consequence. Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada Tiroba Mahamahotsav ki.
Hare Krishna. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Budhile Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namni Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharni Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatire Satarine. Hare Krishna. I would like to share with you a little discussion we had a few weeks back with some devotee. So one devotee was saying that we are distributing so many books of Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, so many books all over the world. But Krishna says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yadati siddhaye yadadamapi siddhanam kaschil, that out of thousands of men, one person may try to understand me. Out of thousands of such people, one may actually take up the process. Out of thousands of such people, one may actually know me in truth. So, we follow Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, and so this is what Krishna is saying, Shastra is saying, out of thousands of people. So what is our hope? We are distributing so many books, and we are also chanting Hare Krishna, but we are having problems. What is our hope? How we can achieve perfection? So Krishna has made it clear that only a few people are going to attain perfection, and that's going to be our fate. So that time I told him, actually yes, what Krishna says is correct, no question about it. It's the supreme, absolute, supreme personality of Godhead, and he says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamegam saranam raja aham tvam sarvapabhebhyo moksheshyami machujaha. You have to come and surrender to me fully, and then I will deliver you from all sinful reactions, do not fear. So I told him that actually yes, that is correct, but Srila Prabhupada came to get the rest of us. So we can see that is the because a devotee is more merciful than Krishna himself, and Srila Prabhupada has practically demonstrated that he is much more merciful than Krishna, in fact much more merciful than anybody who has come before him. he is representing them, but he is extending his mercy everywhere. So that is the greatness of Srila Prabhupada, that it's not contradicting what Krishna has said, but Krishna has given him that power, and he has given that mercy to all the conditioned souls. So therefore, then the other day I also read another thing. Some devotee forwarded to me. Same kind of question, that we are distributing so many books. This is during Prabhupada's manifest pastimes. We are distributing so many books, and this devotee came and asked Prabhupada, but what will happen to these people? And even if they have taken your books, they are studying your books, but if they are not initiated, how will they go back to Godhead? And then Prabhupada looked at him and said, as soon as they start studying my books, they are initiated. So that's the point, that Krishna is a supreme absolute person. He is writing, he is speaking the Bhagavad Gita, he is maintaining his standards. As God, he has to maintain the standards. There is no compromise on that point. But a devotee, of course, and Krishna's most merciful incarnation is Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya is also, started this principle of extreme compassion, that he is willing to take anyone and everyone without considering the qualification of the candidates. And that's the only hope we have in Kali Yuga, actually. And then Srila Prabhupada is following in the footsteps of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is extending that compassion to all of us. So, as everybody has heard all through the day how Srila Prabhupada went all around the world and preached Krishna consciousness and saved all of us, brought all of us into the fold of ISKCON. So, he has still further plans to extend the mercy to everybody. And Srila Prabhupada made it clear. So when he established the Bhaktivedanta Institute, he made it clear that this institute is meant for those people who will not otherwise come to our temples. So, like Narottam Prabhu was reminding us, that wherever we have found a spot in ISKCON, we should try to do our best, and some other servants please Srila Prabhupada and take part in this great mission that Srila Prabhupada has started to give the mercy to every single conditioned soul. In fact, Prabhupada makes this point also. Prabhupada makes, Krishna wants everyone to go back to him without exception. Krishna wants that. But the activities for that are actually being executed by a great devotee like Srila Prabhupada, and we are given a chance to assist in that in some small way. So on this auspicious occasion of the divine disappearance of Srila Prabhupada, I pray to Srila Prabhupada to bless me and all of us to play our small roles in this great moment and achieve the perfection of our lives. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.
मैं हरे कृष्णा मैं सुबह मॉर्निंग सेशन में ग्लोरिफिकेशन टाइम पे मैं एक्सपेक्ट कर रहा था कि एनीवन कैन स्पीक करके बोला था, मतलब तो चांस मिलेगा तो बोलूँगा करके अभी मैं थोड़ा ड्राफ्ट किया है 3-4 मिनट मैंने सुबह ड्राफ्ट किया तो मैं पढ़ता हूँ. Srila Prabhupada is regarded as Satyavesha avatar of Lord Krishna. So, Satyavesha means representative of Lord Krishna, as taught by Dr. Mukund Madhadas some 10 to 15 years ago. You might not be remembering. The courses were the journey of self-discovery and Tattva Darshana, some 10 to 15 years ago. You remember? Yes. That. If my memory goes very well, I also remember Srila Prabhupada in his audio lectures again and again saying emphasizing Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, which I liked most, which I have written on the door of my flat. I am not mentioning that. SB 1.3.28 I have written on my door, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, because Srila Prabhupada in his Srimad Bhagavatam lectures again and again and again, I like that most. And if any Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavatam speaker does not mention this Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, I think it is not proper. I have pointed this to many great speakers, because in Vileparle there was Santanchi Mandiyali program, that 7-day program was there, Krishnam Mande Jagadgurum, that 7 people, Habapa means Hari Bhakta Parayana, in Marathi it's called, they speak, everyone spoke of Lord Krishna, but they did not mention this word, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Last day I made up my mind and went to the speaker, sir, you have not mentioned this. उसने मेरे को बोला तुम जाके स्टेज के पे जाके बोलो ना कृष्णस्तु भगवान स्वयं करके सब मेरे को बोला but I am not authorized to say, so I did not speak that word, but I mentioned him that he should speak that word because it is so important. Krishnastu Bhagavan. I have pointed to many speakers because Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna is nothing. It is nothing other than Krishna. So that. Today I liked today I came to know from morning video class that Prabhupada is saying you just should not say sunshine shine. Similarly, just not consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Similarly, sunshine, you mentioned sun, no? Behind sunshine. Similarly, just not consciousness, it's Krishna consciousness. So today I noted that from video class. And today also I came to know from the video class that Prabhupada in the last moment of his, he was dictating Srimad Bhagavatam, no? To his disciples on the deathbed. I saw that. First time I saw that today. Translating. Yes. I want to glorify also Srila Prabhupada because in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, as it is, Srila Prabhupada has quotes from Padma Purana, Vishnu Purana, I think Garuda Purana also. That means Srila Prabhupada has studied a lot means lot. And today also I came to know that he used to sleep only 2 hours, 10 to 12 even night. That means after that he used to wake up and write. And just now I saw that here also. First time I am coming, saw that. Because I used to come here, but today I got the opportunity to come here over the quarters. Last year also I came the same time, but did not go come up. So that's all I want to glorify Srila Prabhupada. And because of Krishna consciousness, we are all living. That's all I want to say. Jai Sri Prabhupada. Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you, Girish Prabhu. Thank you. Sundar Shekhar Prabhu. Any other devotee कोई और प्रॉपर जी का गुणगान करना चाहता है? Any other devotee wants to come and speak? They can give their name.
नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपदाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी इतनाम्ने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष श्रमयादि पाशादेशतारिणे. So no amount of appreciation or thanks or is enough for Srila Prabhupada, but yet I would like to take this opportunity to give my gratitude and my appreciation and my thanks. So I'm pretty young, but so I've never had to deal. I've never seen Prabhupada, but still, yet his legacy is such that he's still so inspiring. And so his vision was not only this is what I feel, but his vision was not only of the present, but he very well thought of the future as well. So not just establishing temples or just turning people into devotees, but establishing gurukuls itself. So I've had the fortune to be in the Vrindavan Gurukul, and that is basically we're all a part of his legacy, but that is one great fortune that I've had, and that's one great fortune that I've had. So since I was talking about his vision, not only of the present but of the future as well, I'm right now I'm in the corporate world, and how the corporate world works is we have to think of the future, adopt new technologies. But Srila Prabhupada kind of similarly thought the same way. So right now, our current generation, we would never even think of learning Sanskrit or, exploring those books which are there in Sanskrit. But Srila Prabhupada made it so easier for us, made things so accessible for us. I mean, chanting 16 rounds, how difficult is that? Reading his books. No, he wrote his book so many years ago, but yet, even if you read it now, it's so relatable. You can still relate to it. It is not outdated. It is like I said, it's still very relatable. So he just made it so easier for us. Like right now at this current state, I could never even imagine of reading a Sanskrit book or any of that sort of matter. But his translations, his dedication towards translating those books, so that it would be easier for us, for my current generation, to read that. It's just so inspiring, and his dedication, his service attitude, his everything. It's just so basically his legacy will always be there no matter what, and it's not like there is a stop to his legacy. It's always growing, and just to see what he could have done in I mean, no one could even imagine going at the age of 70 to the West and having created something so magnanimous. I mean, that's beautiful. So just would like to take this opportunity to just give my gratitude, my word of thanks, and basically being a life savior, because I mean it would be, he's just made it so easier for us, like I mentioned before, chanting 16 rounds, his books becoming so accessible, creating so many temples, so much. He's like his legacies, because he has created so many devotees that we have such great association. So there is no chance for us to fall off, and so basically we would just like to take this opportunity to thank Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. So I would like to mention two things which inspired me a lot. From the very first day of my life, when I heard about Srila Prabhupada, this one quality of Srila Prabhupada, just like His Grace Narottomanand Prabhu, he mentioned these opulences and which Srila Prabhupada used in Krishna's service, it is very insignificant as compared to what love he has got. So this is what I got attracted with the love Srila Prabhupada has for his spiritual master, for Lord Krishna, which forced him to go out of Vrindavan at so advanced age, in spite of so difficulties. And we can see the manifestation of that love into all these temples, and we see so many devotees, so many festivals, so many Rath Yatras. This is all just a manifestation of Srila Prabhupada's love towards Lord Krishna. So this is what I was very much inspired. And when I was in college, so I was just introduced into Krishna consciousness. So there was confusion. I was attracted to Maya also, Krishna also. So I must say this, that there was not only knowledge was given, okay, Krishna consciousness is there and this materialism is there, differentiation is there, that was understandable, but still that attraction was there towards Maya, towards material energy. So when I used to hear Srila Prabhupada's lecture, that lecture of Srila Prabhupada, when it goes into the heart, from heart it was giving some kind of force that you must only take Krishna consciousness, you should not go into other way. So, and that purity, and not only purity, Srila Prabhupada's lectures at every step, the logical explanation with examples, analogies, and how clearly he make us see the world, makes us very convinced and confident to take up the Krishna consciousness movement. Otherwise we have never seen Krishna, we don't know who is God. How can we become so convinced? This is all because of his lectures. When I read his books in his books also, we find that he is speaking directly to us. In his books, very deepest philosophy, if you go in canto wise, in 11th canto, 10th cantos, some technical philosophy is there, deepest philosophy is there, but Srila Prabhupada's presentation is so nice that he is presenting in a very simple manner so that anybody can understand. But the presentation of the deepest philosophy in simple manner does not dilute it. He gives complete everything in in conclusion, but he gives perfectly. So I remember this when I was in childhood, when we go for taking injection, if a neophyte nurse is there, so we become very terrified. When injection is not operated properly, it is very painful. But if an expert doctor is there, he'll inject so nicely that we'll not be able to know also that when it got. So like that only, Srila Prabhupada's very toughest thing in this material world and spiritual world, and for his presentation, his examples so logical, so appealing to everyone, whether he is a student of a school or college or any general public, everyone gets that whatever Srila Prabhupada is trying to say. So I am very fortunate, and we are very fortunate actually we got into this. So I am very grateful, eternally grateful to Srila Prabhupada, otherwise we would have been into some kind of so thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So, there are many things which attract, like we saw Prabhupada talks about Krishna, that Sarva Akarshiti iti Krishna, that Krishna attracts everyone. And we see the same quality in his empowered representatives. Srila Prabhupada, he attracted, when we hear many different devotees from all over the world, that everyone got attracted to Prabhupada, but because of different quality. Everyone was attracted, some was attracted to his management skills. I heard in US when Prabhupada started his preaching, and after few years, how he spread his mission all over the world. Many business people, chairmen of the companies would come and try to understand how this man has, it was spoken that, he just came with 40 rupees and started so much. So how is that he got so much success? So that is one quality. Another quality is simplicity. How many devotees got attracted to simplicity? The clarity, as Anand Rup said, the clarity in his speech, in his lectures, in his books. So I was just talking to one businessman, and because he travels all over the world, so he asked me this question that, tell me why Prabhupada's mission spread so far and wide so quickly. And I gave some philosophical answers, but he himself gave wonderful answer. He said, because Srila Prabhupada, presented the most complex, philosophy or the path back to Godhead in such a simple way. What he said is just chant Hare Krishna. That's how he started his entire mission. He attracted all the devotees, especially in the West, and he just told them, come take prasad, chant Hare Krishna. And who will not want that? So, such simple and futuristic how Prabhupada was. He knew that today he is attracting everyone with the simplicity of eating prasadam and chanting Hare Krishna, and definitely what he wants is to follow 4 regulative principles, chant 16 rounds. And not only that, as he came from Vrindavan to America, he knew that his disciples, he'll send his disciples all over the world. Anyone would come to Prabhupada with some idea. So I'm just trying to take so many different qualities and say that how Prabhupada was expert manager. As we know, Krishna is expert and the devotees are also expert. So Prabhupada is expert spiritual manager. Not only he knows the capacity. In a materialistic realm, we see that a manager or a leader knows the capacity of the person and he is engaged accordingly. But Prabhupada, being such a powerful spiritual personality, he knows the desires also in the heart of devotee or any living entity, and then Srila Prabhupada has engaged devotees. We can read in Leela Amrit so many stories. Srila Prabhupada engaged devotees according to their desires. Not only capacities were taken in this way, but also the desires. So how Prabhupada did everything such wonderfully. Like one devotee came to Prabhupada and he said, I want to take sannyas. And Prabhupada said, why do you want to take sannyas? As he would ask every devotee. He said, Prabhupada, I'm feeling, lot of lust in my heart. It's going up. I'm feeling more and more lusty. So I want to take sannyas. Looks like a very weird answer. Prabhupada said, come tomorrow and I will give you sannyas. The one devotee, the brahmachari in America, he was going out, leaving the ashram. And Prabhupada said, where are you going? He said that I am leaving because too much problem I am facing internally within the heart, so I think I should go and get married. Prabhupada said, do you think by getting married your problems will be solved? Go inside ashram, start chanting your rounds. So we can see how he could understand what is the potency of that person, what is the desire, what is his capacity. Any devotee would come to Prabhupada and say that, Prabhupada, why don't we do this? Let us preach in Germany. Say example. And then Prabhupada said, very good idea. Why don't you go there? And you are the in charge of Germany. And devotees were made, not only temple presidents, like country presidents. As Prabhupada writes in first canto that Krishna is supreme personality of Godhead and Krishna is supremely independent. And then Prabhupada writes, Krishna's devotees are also supremely independent for executing Krishna's will. And Prabhupada will distribute countries and continents. And in Hindi we say as if it's his father's property. Actually it is Prabhupada's father's property. So one disciple came to Prabhupada and he said, Prabhupada, everyone is getting one country. I also want something. Prabhupada said, okay, take Sri Lanka. Prabhupada, it is so small. Prabhupada said, okay, go Pakistan. And they heard Pakistan 1970 when the war was going on. And what happened with Brahman Guru? He said, Prabhupada, I think I should start with smaller first. I'll go to Sri Lanka. So he was so expert in... and then he sent His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj to China. And how the idea came to Prabhupada to go to China? So just one night before this, in the morning we were hearing from Bhima Prabhu. Tamal Krishna Maharaj had this Sankirtan party and he would kind of hijack the brahmacharis from all the temples because he was so charismatic. Wherever he goes, he will speak and the devotees will come. So then Prabhupada told him, that so many complaints are coming from temple presidents and all that. And somehow, because he shared such a wonderful, intimate relation with Prabhupada, he said, okay, then I'll go to China. No one is there, nobody will have problem, I'll go to China. And Prabhupada said, okay, go sleep, it's late in the night. Next day morning, 5 o'clock, he called. He said, call Tamal Krishna Maharaj. And he said, he paid up and Prabhupada said, I think you should go to China and preach. And he went actually. He tried for 3 months. And the same day he sent His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj to Russia. And what happened in Russia? And what is happening in China? China Yatra is expanding like anything now. And Mayapur, Vrindavan, you go now, so many Chinese devotees. So Prabhupada is expert now also. As we hear, that Prabhupada's connection, on a spiritual level, the connection has nothing to do with physical. Like, Prabhupada left this planet in 1977. But then there are many devotees, thousands and lakhs of devotees who have realizations that Prabhupada is actually nurturing them still. Even though every one of us are initiated by our respective spiritual master, but Prabhupada has a big role to play still. Prabhupada books. Devotees, many devotees, they share the realization that Prabhupada's letters or Prabhupada's purports or Prabhupada lectures are personal instruction to everyone. Like Purandara Das, this one famous devotee and poet who was in Udupi, he used to sing in Kannada language. He sang so many bhajans. So one of the bhajan he sang that, the letter has come from my Lord, the letter has come, the letter has come. Kagada bandi de, kagada bandi de. So everyone will ask, what letter has come from your Lord? Then he will show Bhagavad Gita. He said, Bhagavad Gita is a personal letter to me from my Lord. And that same realization I have heard from many devotees, that when you read Prabhupada's purport, they are exactly matching, not your personality, not your life, your exact situation at that time. And then I tried this and it worked. So then I tell many a times, sometimes new people are sitting, chanting 1-2 rounds, not very convinced about the process, not very convinced about books of Prabhupada, or sometimes very new people, I just give them Bhagavad Gita. I said, take Bhagavad Gita, open any page you like, put your finger and read that part and see what Krishna and Prabhupada are speaking to you now. Everyone has realized that, yes, this is what exactly I was asking. This is what I was looking for. So this is how spiritual personality like Srila Prabhupada is still spiritually managing every devotee and engaging in devotional service. Prabhupada, as Prabhuji said, Sundar Shekhar Prabhu, he is a futuristic acharya. Because he knows his movement has to go for 10,000 years. We can definitely say there is no personality in the world who cannot fit in service of ISKCON. Like we talk about Varna Ashram. But now because Varna Ashram has become kind of kichdi, nothing is clear. There are so many mixings have happened. But with all those permutation and combination of these 4 Varnas and 4 ashrams, still that personality can be engaged in some service in ISKCON. So many varieties, nowhere. Sometimes I tell devotees, where you get such a corporate, such an organization, that you have to just do 1 arati in the morning, 1 arati in the evening, chant some rounds, 16 rounds minimum, read, attend morning program, blissfully eat prasad and enjoy with devotees. And your life is going on. You don't have to bother. This is ISKCON. Who created? Srila Prabhupada created. So he knows how to manage on a spiritual level. And many devotees we hear who had direct contact with Srila Prabhupada, physical contact, and they got instruction. They share their realizations that how Prabhupada such a fantastic manager. Not only that, being such an acharya, like we know, as Mukunda Madhaprabhu was saying, that if you have to start one base, one choice, so much anxiety. The devotee will come, where is money, where is my laptop, projector, confirm seat in the train, and where is my assistant, where will I go, any contact person, where will I eat. And Prabhupada will send devotees like I came, Prabhupada said, I came empty-handed, why shall I give you anything? These devotees created. The devotees who were sent by Prabhupada, they created. Now any devotee, and every devotee has this realization, if we get little bit service, like managing this event, Prabhupada disappearance, the event, so many meetings, so many devotees are engaged, so many departments are engaged, still the anxiety is there, at least till 9 o'clock. But Prabhupada, he was world acharya, traveling all over the world, and we saw that 10,000 letters he has written, so many disciples he has initiated, so much anxiety, and thinking about the future, writing the books. He is so relaxed. We can see his videos, he is so relaxed. There is no anxiety. One devotee was sharing, when we are in a hurry, we go to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada has to sign some letters so that we can execute the things. And the devotee will come rushing to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada, there is the letter to sign, please sign so that we can execute. And Prabhupada will take the letter very aristocratically, very classic movements. If you if you see some video, watch some video of Prabhupada, very classic movements of Prabhupada, very attractive, the way he moves. We are not preaching Mayavad philosophy, but Shukadeva Goswami talks about Krishna's movement. We don't know, at least I don't know how Krishna's movements are and how is he attracting everyone in Vrindavan. But I have seen Prabhupada's video. His movements are really very attractive. The way he moves his hand, the way he takes the letter, reads it. First keep the letter. Takes his reading glasses, puts it on, reads the letter, discusses something, and that devotee, his BP is going high because we have no time. And Prabhupada is relaxed. What is the hurry? Because he is completely convinced that Krishna is taking charge of everything. And then Prabhupada will keep the letter, open his pen box, a pen case. Then open a pen case, take the pen, open the pen, very softly he will sign. And his sign is like half a mile, goes on, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, you see, Bhagavad. It's long sign, it's not short sign. And then he'll take the pen, close the cap, keep the pen in the case, close the case, take the letter, look at the devotee, smile, and then give. He's a world acharya and so much time he has. Every time we see Prabhupada is relaxed. So this is inconceivable to a person, especially like me, who is completely engrossed in the mode of passion. I have to do fast means fast. But Prabhupada has done so much in 10 years and still relaxed. There is one quality which I keep meditating, but it's inconceivable. So on this auspicious occasion, on this auspicious day, I like to pray to Srila Prabhupada, give some drop or the drop of your qualities, so that we can try to assist your servants, so that we can get some attachment for holy name. By serving your disciples and your grand disciples, we can get mercy of yours, and the way we can get connected to this wonderful parampara coming from Lord Shri Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His Divine Grace S. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Tirobha Mahamotsav ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande.